So what a day this has been for the president. What a day this has been for the president. Sort of like Christmas, his birthday, and election night 2016 all rolled into one. The dark cloud of the Russia investigation lifted. And the president's nemesis, well, one of them facing criminal charges. You can't write this stuff. We're going to have more on that in a moment. But President Trump is basking in the glow of the no collusion that he says all the time after Bill Barr's letter summarizing the Mueller report stated the investigation did not establish that Trump or his campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government. Mueller did not reach a conclusion on obstruction. Barr quotes him saying, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him, which hasn't stopped the president, by the way, from falsely claiming he was totally exonerated. And even though a White House official tells CNN that they haven't seen the full report yet, this president is losing no time turning Mueller's findings against anybody he sees as his political enemy.
There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. And hopefully that people that have done such harm to our country, we've gone through a period of really bad things happening. Those people will certainly be looked at. I've been looking at them for a long time, and I'm saying, why haven't they been looked at?
Treasonous. Oof. Some of the president's advisors, quite frankly, are worried that kind of talk could backfire as his re-election campaign heats up. While he's got some pretty ominous things to say about people, I don't know, being looked at, the president has good things to say about Robert Mueller. Now.
Mr. President, do you think Robert Mueller Yes.
So let me say this. The president is right. Mueller did act honorably. But that's not what he was saying before, when he was tweeting and tweeting and tweeting about what he called Mueller and his angry Democrats. And when he said all of this.
Why don't I just fire Mueller? Well, I think it's a disgrace what's going on. I think that the Mueller investigation has been totally disgraceful.
Mr. Mueller is highly conflicted. In fact, Comey is like his best friend.
Robert Mueller put 13 of the angriest Democrats in the history of our country on the commission. I had a nasty business transaction with Robert Mueller a number of years ago. I said, why isn't that mentioned?
We are also learning that Robert Mueller told Attorney General Bill Barr and the Deputy AG Rod Rosenstein 3 weeks ago that he wouldn't be reaching a conclusion on whether President Trump obstructed justice. That was 3 weeks ago, though one official tells CNN the president and the White House did not know about that. But Barr's advanced knowledge may explain how he was able to write his letter summarizing Mueller's report within 48 hours of receiving it. And as the Attorney General has begun the process of scrubbing the report of grand jury material, there's still no timeline for releasing it. In fact, there's no guarantee that the American people will ever see the full report. But the president today said it wouldn't bother him at all if the report was released.
Up to the Attorney General, but it wouldn't bother me at all. Up to the Attorney General, wouldn't bother me at all.
I've said it before, the AG should take the president at his word. The House voted 420-0 to demand the public release of Mueller's report. And the chairs of 6 House committees sent a letter to Barr today demanding that he make the full report available to Congress no later than April 2nd. Though on the Senate side, Mitch McConnell today blocked Chuck Schumer's efforts to pass a resolution to make the report public. But the fact remains, that's what 87% of Americans want. 87% of Americans, that's what they want, the full report to be released. We'll see if they get what they want. But there's more from the president today. I want you to listen to what he says about Mueller's investigation.
We can never let this happen to another president again. I can tell you that, and I say it very strongly. Very few people I know could have handled it. We can never, ever let this happen to another president again.
We can never, ever let this happen to another president again. That's what he says, which is troubling, really troubling. Because what happened, Mueller's investigation, was entirely legal. Mueller's appointment, authorities, and actions were upheld by 7 federal court decisions, the rulings made by judges appointed by both political parties, even one appointed by Donald Trump himself. This is the way our legal system works, the way it's supposed to work. Mueller has brought criminal charges against 34 people and 3 companies, including half a dozen members of Team Trump. Michael Cohen, Michael Flynn, Rick Gates, Paul Manafort, George Papadopoulos, and Roger Stone. 5 people have been sentenced to prison, including Manafort, Cohen, and Papadopoulos, plus Richard Pinedo and Alex van der Zwaan. They are paying a price for their crimes because nobody is above the law. Nobody's above the law. This was no witch hunt. If it had been, the result would have been very different, right? And when the president said this last night,
I just want to tell you that America is the greatest place on earth. The greatest place on earth.
again, he's right. America is the greatest place on earth, and that's because we are a country of laws. I'll say it again, a country where nobody is above the law, which also applies to one of the president's fiercest critics. There you see it there up on your screen, attorney Michael Avenatti, who formerly represented porn actress Stormy Daniels. Avenatti was arrested today, charged in 2 separate criminal cases, alleging he attempted to extort more than $20 million from Nike, that he committed wire and bank fraud. Serious, serious charges that could land him behind bars for decades if proven true. Stormy Daniels tweeting that she was saddened but not shocked at the news, and going on to say that she terminated his services, quote, after discovering that he had dealt with me extremely dishonestly, and there will be more announcements to come. That's a quote from what she tweeted. A defiant Avenatti saying this tonight.
I am highly confident that when all of the evidence is laid bare in connection with these cases, when it is all known, when due process occurs, that I will be fully exonerated and justice will be done.
All of this, says Michael Cohen, the president's former fixer who pleaded guilty to campaign finance violations over hush money paid to Daniels, is set to report to prison in May. Like I said, nobody is above the law. That's one of the things that really make America great.